Welcome. I'm excited to share some interesting concepts with you. Let's start by looking at the incredible wave of intelligent systems that can now create entirely new content, like stories, pictures, or even music, all on their own. While this technology opens up amazing possibilities, it also brings a really important question to the forefront. How do we ensure our personal details remain protected? It's about finding that delicate sweet spot between pushing the boundaries of what these smart programs can do and carefully safeguarding individual information. We live in a world built on digital facts, so understanding our collective duty to handle this data responsibly is more crucial than ever. Let me show you. Our world is increasingly filled with clever computer programs that learn from vast amounts of information. These intelligent tools, designed to help us in countless ways, often need access to our personal details to function best. This creates a really important conversation. How do we ensure these systems responsibly manage all that sensitive data? It's like navigating a complex map, trying to figure out the right paths and boundaries to keep everyone's private stuff secure, while still letting technology advance and be useful. This whole situation, with its rules, challenges, and ongoing developments, is what we're talking about. Let me introduce you to a fascinating aspect of modern intelligent systems. These clever AI programs, like the ones that write text for us, learn by sifting through truly enormous collections of information. Think of it as them reading nearly everything ever written online and in books. The catch is, a lot of that material contains people's private facts. What's more, these same AIs are predicted to soon be producing a huge amount of new content themselves, creating a continuous loop of data being absorbed and then new data being made. This constant exchange and immense pool of information brings up big worries about keeping our personal details safe. It raises questions about information being used without permission, or even accidentally revealing private details that were hidden deep within the learning material. Let me introduce you to why safeguarding our personal details is so incredibly vital in today's tech-driven world. First, it's about protecting your own freedom. When clever algorithms use your information to make choices about you, often without your knowledge, it can feel like losing control over your own life, leading to unfair treatment or invisible oversight. Secondly, companies that mishandle data quickly lose public confidence, facing severe fines and legal trouble. Think of it as a huge blow to their credibility and bank account. Finally, for new intelligent technologies to truly thrive and be accepted by society, they must operate ethically. If they don't respect our privacy, people will simply turn away, hindering beneficial innovation before it can even take root. Here's an interesting topic. Have you ever considered just how much private information artificial intelligence tools interact with every single day? We're talking about things like your health history, financial details, or even personal identifiers that pinpoint exactly who you are. When these smart computer programs process such confidential user data, it raises big questions about responsibility. It's absolutely vital that this kind of unique information is handled with extreme care and robust protection. Otherwise, it could be misused or fall into the wrong hands. Protecting these digital footprints within AI applications is key to maintaining trust and safeguarding individual privacy. Let's look at what truly sensitive information means. It's not just your name or home address. It's any detail that pinpoints you directly, like your unique government ID number or your digital footprints online. Then there's data from your unique body characteristics, such as your facial structure or fingerprints, often used by technology to confirm who you are. And naturally, deeply private matters like your medical past, genetic insights, or all your money-related activities, from bank balances to credit scores, require utmost care. Even if some of these details appear publicly online, basic privacy rules still apply. Misusing or exposing this private data without permission can cause real harm and lead to serious legal consequences. Let me explain. Large AI systems, especially those that generate text, essentially have incredibly powerful memories. They don't just learn patterns. Sometimes they actually recall specific snippets of the vast information they've been trained on. Think of it like a sponge that absorbed every single drop. If you ask a very specific, clever question, either accidentally or on purpose, these models can sometimes blurt out sensitive details, like private messages or even bits of computer code that were hidden in their vast knowledge base. This can reveal personal information about people who never intended their data to be public, a kind of information leak that our standard digital defenses aren't usually equipped to handle. Here's an interesting topic. When applications or services gather information about us, like our online habits or personal preferences, It's more than just passively recording details. A critical part of this process involves our explicit agreement, much like asking permission before borrowing something valuable from a friend. We grant access, usually for specific uses. But once those insights are compiled, a fascinating question arises. Who truly has control over them? Are they still fundamentally ours, or does the entity that assembled them now hold the primary rights? Understanding these permissions and the subsequent stewardship of our digital footprints is absolutely vital for navigating our increasingly connected world. Let me introduce you to the absolute importance of user trust and choice when developing artificial intelligence. Before any of our personal information is used to train these smart systems, companies absolutely must ask for our clear permission, explaining in simple terms exactly what they plan to do with it. No hidden clauses. Furthermore, we as users should always have the ultimate say. We need straightforward ways to revoke our consent or request our data be removed at any point, without facing any penalties. Even when getting direct permission isn't practical, there are smart ways to protect privacy, like removing any unique identifiers from data, so it remains valuable for learning, yet completely anonymous. It's about fundamental respect. Here's an interesting topic. Who really owns information in our digital world, especially with artificial intelligence in the mix? It's a surprisingly complex puzzle with many different people and groups feeling they have a claim. Think about it. You generate personal details every day. Then there are the companies that gather and process that information. Add to that the engineers who build and teach AI models using massive datasets, and even the businesses providing the underlying tech infrastructure. So, deciding who gets to do what with all this data is really tricky. We desperately need open, understandable guidelines that spell out everyone's responsibilities. There's a growing push, often through new rules, to give individuals more say and control over their own digital footprint. Let's unpack what it means to truly manage information with care. Think of your data like precious heirlooms. Security is about having the strongest safe, reinforced walls, and maybe even an alarm system to keep unauthorized folks out. It's the physical and digital protection. But responsible governance goes deeper. It's about knowing exactly what's in that safe, why you have it, who should be allowed to open it, and when it's time to safely discard something no longer needed. It's the whole thoughtful process, from gathering these heirlooms, documenting their importance, deciding who gets access, and ensuring they're treated ethically throughout their existence, keeping everyone accountable for their proper handling. Let's talk about how we keep precious AI data safe from prying eyes. Think of it like guarding a valuable treasure. First, we make sure that information is always locked away in a secret code, whether it's sitting still on a server or traveling across the internet. It's like putting a super strong encryption on your digital files, so only those with the proper key can ever understand them. Second, we're very careful about who gets to even look at or use this treasure. We only give access to people who absolutely need it for their job, and sometimes they might even need a second form of verification, ensuring they only get the minimum permissions required. Lastly, we constantly check our defenses. We regularly bring in ethical hackers to try and break through, finding any weak spots before real threats can exploit them, ensuring our security is always top-notch. Let's break down how we should approach safeguarding information when creating artificial intelligence. Instead of trying to bolt on privacy features at the very end, like adding a lock to a door after it's already built, we need to embed protection right into the initial blueprint. Think of it as designing a car where safety features are fundamental to the chassis, not just added accessories. Throughout the entire journey of building an AI, we must continuously scrutinize for potential vulnerabilities, like a safety engineer performing constant crash tests. The best part? This doesn't mean our AI becomes less capable. We can absolutely have highly functional, brilliant AI and ensure robust user data protection simultaneously. These goals aren't at odds. Let me help you understand how businesses and even individuals navigate the complex world of right and wrong. Think of it like a game with two sets of rules. First, you have the absolute must-dos and must-don't. These are the legal boundaries enforced by official bodies, and breaking them comes with clear penalties, like fines or worse. This is your foundation, the bare minimum. But then there's a higher level, the ethical guidelines. These aren't always written into law, but they represent what's considered fair, just, and morally sound. It's about doing the right thing even when no one is watching, building trust, and ensuring long-term respect, much like being a good citizen, even when no police are around. Time to understand that rolling out artificial intelligence isn't just about cool new features. It's about meticulously navigating a complex landscape of global privacy rules. Every country, and even different industries within them, has its own unique standards for handling people's personal information. These guidelines focus on safeguarding sensitive data, ensuring individuals give proper consent for its use, and making sure AI systems operate with clarity and responsibility. If an organization fails to meet these obligations, the consequences are genuinely severe. We're talking about massive financial penalties, drawn-out legal battles, and a public image so damaged it can take years, or even decades, to fully recover. It's a fundamental aspect of trustworthy AI development. Let's look at what truly makes artificial intelligence ethical. It's far more than simply adhering to regulations. It's about fostering genuine trust and confidence with everyone. This means companies need to own up to any negative impacts their AI might create, taking full responsibility. We also must ensure that actual people remain in control, reviewing automated choices instead of letting machines operate completely autonomously. Furthermore, openness and impartial treatment are key. We need to understand how these systems work and know they're fair. And fundamentally, safeguarding personal information and empowering individuals with control over their data is paramount. This builds a foundation of reliability. Let me walk you through how we approach moving into the future in a really positive way. It boils down to two key components. First, we need to genuinely earn people's confidence, fostering an environment where everyone feels secure and understood. Think of it like a team working together. If you don't believe in each other, you won't get much done. Second, and equally vital, we must tirelessly ensure that everyone's basic entitlements and fair treatment are respected. This means actively safeguarding what's due to each person, making sure no one is left behind or treated unfairly. When we commit to these two pillars, our shared progress becomes incredibly strong and inclusive. Here's an interesting topic. Building trustworthy AI really boils down to being incredibly thoughtful and responsible with people's personal information. First, when we gather data, we need to be crystal clear with folks about exactly how their information will be used, explaining it in plain language, not confusing legalese. Second, it's smart to prioritize data that doesn't directly identify anyone, like using scrambled versions, artificial data, or just group patterns, to keep individual privacy safe while our AI still learns effectively. Third, organizations must have solid, up-to-date rules for handling data, and ensure everyone on the team is regularly trained on them. Finally, don't shy away from bringing in privacy specialists and using clever tech solutions that allow AI to learn without ever directly seeing sensitive details. It's all about earning and keeping trust. Here's an interesting topic. When we talk about artificial intelligence, it's really important how we handle people's information. Think of it like this. If an AI system is going to use your data, you should clearly understand what it's using and why. This openness helps you decide if you're comfortable with it, much like reading an ingredient list before you eat something. When companies are upfront and respect your personal boundaries, it naturally builds confidence. That trust isn't just a nice to have. It's essential for people to actually adopt and embrace new AI tools long-term. In fact, strong privacy isn't a roadblock to progress. It's the very bedrock for creating truly groundbreaking AI solutions that improve lives without compromising fundamental human values. Let me guide you through how crucial it is that we place human dignity at the core of developing artificial intelligence. For AI to truly flourish and gain widespread acceptance from society, it's absolutely essential that it always protects our private information and honors our personal freedoms. This demands vigilant oversight and clear policies for managing data, making certain that AI benefits everyone instead of leading to unauthorized tracking or misuse. Ultimately, it's a collective endeavor. Everyone involved, from the creators to the users and those who set the rules, must work together to build smart systems that not only advance technically, but also champion our basic human entitlements. Thank you for being such attentive learners. I hope this material was helpful and thank you for your time.